Imagine a school where there are agreed upon practices and processes for almost everything they do. So there's a common way of disciplining, there's a common way of treating students, there's a common way of setting up classrooms.
In our fourth year, we saw it just take a life of its own. People were coming to us, as far as what are you doing, how are you doing, why is this working for you? I think I've had more school tours or visits from different schools or different people to see what our work was like. We've opened our doors to be a model school.
We've gotten to the point this year where the students are actually going into homerooms, into the HIP classes, and actually teaching lessons to their peers.
With this technology age, students kind of get away from really focusing on building themselves as individuals, so it's a way to bring that back.
From a academic standpoint, and I think it's also reflects on our culture, the two schools within this building, Discovery Charter School and Columbus Elementary School, both scored in the top 2% of all schools scored on the state report card in 2014, and so we're very, very proud of that. And I think that again speaks beyond just the academic part, because we know a lot of students come with needs well beyond learning needs, that they need to feel safe, they need to feel valued, and you can't get to the academic excellence unless you have those primary needs taken care of. And so I think our CARES program really helps provide that foundation for the academics to excel.
You can look at the data for attendance, for example. We're at 96% and above for a school of 600 kids. You can look at our parents involved. We have over 1,500 parent volunteers that have logged into the school this year. Is it discipline? We're at 31 referrals by the end of the third quarter for this school year, which I believe is great. We also look at acts of good character. What's the atmosphere like? And we have over 2,100 acts of character that students have displayed that have given back to the school. So with all that being said, I believe character will have a positive impact on each one of those metrics.
The teachers do it by sweating all the small stuff. Day in and day out, they mark those lines and they say people are not going to cross those lines, either an adult or a student. This is how we do things in our school.
Since we've started that, teachers see how they have less distractions, less redirections, less bullying, less kids late, less interruptions.
There's consistency across the district. I can go into any school in the district and I know what they'll be working on. And that's reassuring for me, knowing that people are working on those traits. It offers consistency to the teachers when they do their professional development. It offers consistency in the homes, that parents understand the language that we're using in schools.
Our suspension rates are almost non-existent. We are averaging around 98% attendance rates, and we've had one referral in all those 5 years. We graduate 99% of our students, and 98% of them go on to onto secondary education. In terms of our ACT scores, we rank at the top, if not the top, in our county and in the southeastern Wisconsin.
We've done food drives. We go to the nursing home and the kids get to spend an hour or so with an elderly person. That's one of the situations that has been really positive with little kids and with bigger kids. I've gone out in the neighborhood with kids, all the teachers have, and we have neighbors open up their doors and say, "It's nice to see you, thanks for helping." We have a run walk every year where we give back to the community. Funds have gone to the Wounded Warrior Project. We've also done out of uniform days, and we charge them $1. And the kids help us identify where those funds should go.
When I think about our discipline data, we went from 4 years ago having an average of 8 to 10 referrals a day to 0 to 2. That means that as a principal, I get to do so much more instructionally. So when I'm not trying to tease apart what happened in this scenario, I'm able to be in classrooms and I'm able to be working with teachers and talking about instruction and talking about student learning.
We have very, very few incidences of fighting or physical violence at the school. Compared to other schools, it's a very, very safe place to be. And you see that in numbers in things like disciplinary referrals being very low. But I think you also see it in the fact that we have waiting lists at every grade level every year, that parents want their kids to be in a safe school, and we don't advertise, we don't need to. We have a reputation, and word of mouth spreads that we're a safe school.
So the schools are emphasizing the need to ramp it up, bring the problems to other people who can help, make certain that these students succeed. Basically, the mantra in these schools are that failure is not an option for these children. We're not going to allow them to fail.
We've done some bullying surveys with our students, which is very important. We've done some parent satisfaction surveys, which come out very positive. And that continues on into the middle school level. And the kids will talk about, what was your experience at Stormouth? What made a difference for you? And I think by constantly evaluating and assessing what you're doing, and it also it's manifested in the number of behavior incidents we have. Up until right about now, we've got about 15 total behavior incidents and 530 kids. That's almost unheard of. I talk to colleagues that are principals in other schools, and they're going, "What? How do you do that?" Well, we do it because we have those expectations, and we're constantly talking to our kids about what's the right thing to do. So by looking at your behavior incidents, your bus incidents, the way your kids treat each other, and doing informal and formal surveys, you can measure that pretty carefully.
One of the unique things at middle school is a lot of social issues, and we do a lot of mediations with students. We feel that students, when they learn to work with each other and work through these issues with each other through the mediation, we find that it prevents a lot of the future behavior problems, and I think it's one of the big reasons that our disciplinary referrals have gone down.
Prior to character education, we had 744 discipline referrals, and this past year in 2014-15, we got that number down to 134 discipline referrals. So it has a lot to do with character, but within that, we often talk about the 11 principles from Character Education Partnership.